the very first time you walk into Citizens Bank of Sharpsburg. The people here believe service is something you deserve, not something you should have to buy. So at Citizens Bank of Sharpsburg, there's never a so-called service charge on your checking account, never a minimum balance of any kind. Citizens Bank of Sharpsburg has been an important part of the community for a long time, and they'll continue to be as long as you think service is important. Citizens Bank of Sharpsburg, member FDIC.
Richardson's Food Town is the food store that's service-built. 5 generations make it the oldest family-run grocery in all of Bath County. Some things have changed over the years, but their commitment to satisfying your needs is still the same. In every department, you get top quality, the special items your family appreciates, and the friendly people who are happy to help. Today, it's still your hometown grocery store. Richardson's Food Town, Sudeth and Water Streets, Owingsville.
Owingsville Farmer Supply is your made-to-order store for the Gateway. Order the grind and custom mix you need for your livestock. Owingsville Farmer Supply's bulk feed will deliver the right nutrition at the right price. For the best food for your soil, custom order chemicals and bulk fertilizer. For fencing and other farm supplies, Owingsville Farmer Supply has your kind of price. Open weekdays 8 till 5, Saturdays till noon. Owingsville Farmer Supply, Water Street in Owingsville.
This Bourbon iron furnace was the first iron furnace and heavy industry west of the Alleghenies. One industry that has and is withstanding the test of time is agriculture. The farmland here is as much a monument to Bath County's heritage as this furnace.
Well, Bath County is an agricultural county, and it's primarily rural. We do have a couple of factories that are in, and a couple of other prospects that are coming. But basically, we are a farming community with tobacco as the main enterprise. We have about 2,400 acres of tobacco that are grown. And I guess second in importance to the county is beef cattle. We did have about 30,000 head of beef cattle before the drought started, and we're probably down to 25,000 now. But we also have some grade A dairies. There are about 30 grade A dairies in the county, and we do raise considerable alfalfa and a lot of pastures. Basically, the county has about 180,000 acres, which does include about 30,000 acres national forest.
Farming isn't the only full-time job for Michael and Mary Bach of White Oak. He's in the Army Reserve. She's a teacher in the Bath County school system.
We handle or operate approximately 400 acres here in this, not all here in this one spot, but we've got approximately 400 acres. We've got right at 200 head of beef cattle, about a little over 3 acres of asparagus, and a lot of grassland, and about 80 acres of hay, I would imagine. Some corn, but with the corn we feed to the cattle. We don't raise any corn for commercial sales or anything of that nature. It's either generally all chopped as silage or fed as grain to the cattle.
There are times when it's not quite so hectic, but there are times when it is very demanding and does test even the sane person's limits, I think. Up until about the last year when Michael would be gone, the taking care of the cattle primarily rested solely in my lap. Within the last year, we've had a young man, Terry Moore, that has made my life a whole lot simpler because he does help me on, especially in the mornings when I have to go to school. He takes care of the cattle. It wasn't unusual before that to have to roll out about 4:30 or 5 to go take care of cattle before school and keep your fingers crossed and pray that there was no cow having trouble with the calf and that you could go through if things worked as they should and you could still get to class on time. It takes a lot of prior planning to make things go as they should. A lot of patience and good sense of humor.
I think I was raised on a farm and went through Future Farmers, didn't go through 4-H, but I think the Future Farmer Creed about says it, for I hold an inborn fondness for those associations which, even in the hours of discouragement, I cannot deny. And I think that about says it for anybody who's in farming today. Things do look bleak and they do, things are tough, but I think people that are really fond of farming hang in there, and whatever their bottom line is, they will accomplish it as far as the farming end of it goes.
Millard Pettit tells us how farming is a part of his Bath County heritage.
Well, I was raised on the farm. I was born and bred into it, and it's just like being a doctor or a lawyer or whatever you want to do. I enjoy it thoroughly. I like to be my own boss. Of course, my wife likes to be my boss, but basically, you know, and you just get up in the morning. Naturally, you know you have to work. You have a lot to do. You have to have it in your own mind. That's just what you want to do, and you go ahead and do it. If you don't do it, it don't get done, in other words. But it's just something I was born with, and I've always wanted to do, and that's what I did. I raise about 25 acres of tobacco, which is about 56,000 pounds. And in this particular year, I hope to come up with a small portion of it. And then, I guess about 4 years ago, when the price of tobacco started falling off, the decline in the quota and the price, I started running a dairy operation. And it's been a pretty financially, paying off pretty well financially until now. Of course, we don't want to keep dwelling on the drought situation, but it's affecting everything. And so it's one thing trying to offset another, and of course, nature takes care of itself in different things.
Well, I'm a teacher's aide at school. I work with first and second graders, and I tutor them in math and reading. And that starts at 8:30 of the morning, and then I'm home by 1:30. And depending on what Millard's doing, depends on what I do. If we're working in tobacco, I usually go help. But I don't help at the milk barn. I'm scared of cows, and he doesn't understand that. But I take care of the house, and like I say, I help him in tobacco, but when I'm helping him in the tobacco, he helps me in the house too. And I take care of the girls, and basically that's it.
Farming's just like anything else. There's good days and bad. And we just have to take them as the Lord gives them to us and hope for the best.
Ben Sharp's ancestors founded Sharpsburg. He has proudly continued his family's farming tradition.
Well, I've been doing it for almost 68 years. I've been doing it all my life. And this farm has been in the family since, well, since the Civil War. And we've gone through a lot of different types of farming in my lifetime, and it's gone from the horse and buggy days to previous. And it's there's been a lot of change. I mean, not only in mechanization, but types of plants and such as that. We've been basically tobacco and livestock. We've grown Angus cattle, and that is in later years, and tobacco and corn, and basically cattle. We've been in the farm business on this particular farm ever since the Civil War or before, and the house to live in here was built before the Civil War. Part of it was. And yes, I'd like to see our family continue.
Bath County's towns, countryside, and community services when Kentucky Life continues.